How's it going, everybody? Welcome to our live in the field presentation. My name is John. This is Leah, Hannah, and Kylie. We're going to be presenting to you today on our homestay in Hamakuya. It's a collection of villages up in the northeast, and it was an absolutely wonderful experience. Shout out to Juan Goho and the sunglasses here. Wonderful kid. We hope you've learned a little something about it.
So a little bit about the homestay. It's a 3-night, 2-day stay with a Vinda family. Beforehand, you'll get to meet with translators, learn some cultural norms, and a few words so that you can do some basic communication while you're there. You also get a chance to learn some really fun games to play with the children. While you're at the homestay, you're going to be sleeping in a rondavelle. It's kind of like a little hut. You'll help with chores, you become a part of the community. And most importantly, it's a time to relax, not worry about anything else going on, not worry about school, but just enjoy the experience, engage, and have a lot of fun.
Something really special we got to do before leaving for our homestays was meet the Venda Queen and her advisors, so her nephew and her sisters. They gave us a calabash with a beaded headband and a bracelet, and that was really special. As you can see in this picture, we're all wearing it on our wrists and on our heads. We did a traditional bow for them and then had a conversation about the expectations and disrespectful things. They ended up praying for us on our respective homestays, and that was really special. And then we were ready to go on our way.
And what does homestay mean to us? So it definitely depended person to person. There were also two groups, so no one group had the same experience. But coming back together after our homestay, we all had some overarching themes. So words that we got were wholesome, as well as very familiar, even though some things you do might put you kind of outside of your comfort zone. There was also a big familiarity in the community that was built in each of the homestays. Other words were also freedom, and definitely everybody thought it was very unforgettable. So kind of the energy around homestays, there's a lot that's jam-packed into only a couple of days. They want you to be able to experience as much as possible. So there's always a ton of energy. You're playing with kids, you're running around, and you're having a lot of fun is really the main, kind of the main point you have to that I want to get across. It's an opportunity to engage with the community and gain perspectives on indigenous conservation as well and ways of life. So how they deal, for example, with rain and different weather and climate patterns, as well as how they collect firewood and how kind of some of the indigenous perspectives and thoughts kind of affect conservation in the area. So that was very, very cool to learn. We also got to practice a new language that we had never learned, and so that was very cool, and also figure out other ways to connect with people without necessarily using words, because we didn't always have the words to explain how we felt. So it was definitely a cool way to kind of be creative in your communication. Some of the highlights of things that we got to try were chicken feet, mapani worms, and some of us even got to do a donkey cart ride.
Another cool way to engage with the community was that we got to wear traditional Vinda clothing. So this was a really fun way to learn about their culture. All of the traditional clothing was super colorful and fun to wear. We got to wear it to church and to a soccer game. So again, this was just the perfect way to really become a part of the culture, the community, and get to learn more about their way of life.
One of the best things that we were able to provide and the coolest things we were able to do was bring these kids sporting equipments, which included a soccer ball and a rugby ball. One group brought the soccer ball, the other group brought the rugby ball. I play rugby, so I was happy to be in the group that brought the rugby ball and kind of teach these kids the rules of the game. Despite them being really short-lived, with the soccer ball being subject to thorns and the rugby ball at the hands of Wangoho here accidentally being subject to fire, it was amazing to watch these kids be so excited and be able to kind of have this new equipment to play with. There were absolutely some future Springboks out there, like the two in this picture here. They would practice every single day, and they would literally not let us sleep as long as that ball was out. So it was a really, really cool experience, really good time. I really enjoyed that part of it.
So while the older kids were busy playing games with us, we were able to color with younger kids that are a little bit more artistically inclined, and that was really fun. We gave them crayons and a coloring book and got to watch as they colored their own things and made beautiful masterpieces. They ended up giving us the coloring book back at the end with their beautiful masterpieces, and we were able to return it and give them crayons with new drawings that they can keep forever to just sort of remember it and color and have some more fun.
On one of the days, we got the opportunity to visit the Vintage Church. This was so much fun. It was also a good chance to meet the entire community, shake their hands, give them a hug. We learned some more traditional dance and danced a ton. We were all pretty tired by the end of it. Again, we got to wear our traditional clothing to church. And another cool thing was that for our homestay, a few days beforehand, it was Heritage Day in South Africa. So at church, not only was everyone dressed up in their beautiful traditional clothing, but also we got to try some yummy traditional food afterwards as well.
One of our missions while we were on homestay was to find dung beetles around the area we were staying. So we collected mainly looking in donkey as well as cow dung. So we would dig inside and under to look for our beetles to bring back. Yeah, and these dogs were not part of the dung search, but they're really cute. And in the evenings, we'd come together and people would play music. There would be drumming, singing, or we would play music on a speaker. And this would happen most evenings. We would just be able to have an opportunity to kind of just dance our hearts out. It was very free. It was a unique way also of connecting with people without necessarily using words. It's time to listen to music and be with other people and have fun and be very kind of relaxed in a creative way. So that's kind of like how the games worked as well as a way of communicating. But it was definitely just the time to be free and be with people and friends that you made along the way and learn new dances as well.
Another one of the most special parts of it for me was my 21st birthday. I turned 21 on September 28th, our second day there. And it was definitely outside of the traditional American tradition that I would have expected back in Boston, where I'm from, which would have just been going out to get a drink. Instead, I got the privilege of having a frozen monkey orange, which was absolutely amazing. It's probably one of my new favorite fruits. And we had chicken feet for dinner, which was interesting to me, but really, really good. I enjoyed it. On top of that, we got to go to a soccer game where I got a little bucket of ice cream that I ate with my hands, which was really fun. There were a lot of kids that definitely wanted a little piece of that. But at the soccer game, I got to get on the microphone and talk to however many people were there, a lot, and just say in Venda, kind of thank you and hope you all have a great day. So that was a really cool part of it. Overall, the balls were still there, and so we still got to have fun playing a bit of rugby at the end of the day. It was the best 21st birthday I could have asked for. I wouldn't have it any other way. Really cool experience.
Thank you for coming for our presentation. We hope you enjoyed and learned a little more about Venda culture and the homestay experience. It was really special to all of us, and we learned so much and got to come and have a new perspective on conservation, but also just Venda culture in general and South Africa in general and why we're here and culture and everything. So it was really special and prompted us to have a lot of new conversations that we wouldn't have had before. So we really enjoyed our homestay, and thank you.